Hey guys, remember me? Hey guys, it's Nana, and today I'm going to be showing you some books I've bought and received in the last 3-ish or so months. So long time no see, I've missed you guys! I kind of just disappeared even though I didn't mean to, and the reason was I was apartment hunting and then moving and then settling in, and next thing you know it 4 to 6 weeks had passed and I'm like, what happened? But I finally am feeling like I'm settling in, I'm getting my life back, and I really missed you guys and I really wanted to film something. So I was like, you know what, I haven't shown them the books that I've acquired recently, so yeah, let's jump straight into it. Also, this is my new temporary setup, so please bear with me while I figure out lighting and sound and stuff, but I'm really excited to film in this new space. There are 3 really great windows right by me, so I feel like that will be amazing for filming at various times of day. But see, look, already I've gone off on a tangent. Let's get back to the books. So you've already seen this one in a video because I was buddy reading it with Sammy, and that is Persuasion by Jane Austen. I'm starting to collect these vintage classics editions because I think they're really pretty. So I have this one and I have Pride and Prejudice, which I plan to reread hopefully sometime this year. I should be talking about this in an upcoming video. Either it'll be in a wrap-up, I'm probably going to do a combined wrap-up of the last couple months at the end of this month, or I might do a separate video on this. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, this is new and I just love these editions. I think they're a great size and I like the French flaps. Oh, and the end papers, guys. The end papers are so nice, so I'm going to get all of these. And they have a quote from the book on the back, which I really like, and now I understand this. Anyway, I really love these editions. Next up, I have 3 books that were sent to me by Penguin Books, and they told me the synopsis. I'm like, all of these sounds great. Yes, please send them over. The first one is Multiple Choice by Alejandro Zambra, and this, I'm not exactly sure how to describe it yet. It seems to be a collection of kind of short essays or I think they're short essays, and I know it's written in an interesting way, and it's kind of like a narrative slash an exam form, and I think he's playing around with a few different genres, so I'm excited to read this. It's teeny tiny, and from what I've heard and read about it, it's witty and sharp and amusing, so yeah, this seems like a great little summer read, and I love how small it is, easy to pack and go. The next one is called The English Teacher by Yiftach Atir, and this is about a woman who is a secret agent, but after the death of someone close to her in her family, she kind of drops out of the agency, packs her bags, and disappears. And then another agent is sent to find her, and then I think things happen, so this sounded really interesting. I think it's a thriller, and it's also translated. So yes, I have more, and the last one, Alejandro Zambra's book, is also translated, so I think I'm going to be able to knock out my translated fiction goal for this year. And the last one from Penguin Books is called Under the Harrow by Flynn, and this one is a mystery thriller. So a woman is traveling and she's going to visit her sister, and she's really excited to see her and is expecting her to, greet her and be waiting for her when she arrives, but instead she finds that her sister has been murdered. Gosh, how terrible is that premise? I mean, terrible as in the events, not like it's a bad idea. This sounds really frightening, but also interesting, and I've heard good things about this one, so I'm excited to pick it up. The next couple books are books that I purchased on Independent Bookstore Day. The first one is Last Night's Reading by Gavino, and Gavino is an illustrator who goes to various author events and does a sketch from the event with a quote that the author has said. So I really love her work. She has an amazing Instagram and Twitter and all of the things. So I was excited, and she was there at Greenlight Bookstore doing portraits. So she did mine, and I decided to pick up her book because I thought it was so cute, and I can't wait to flip through this. This might live on the coffee table that I don't have yet, but yeah, this should be a fun read. Now the next one is one that you've heard so much about, I'm sure, and I've been thinking about reading it for what seems like a year, probably. It might have been like a year since I first heard about it, and I was like, who's this author that everyone's talking about? Anyway, without further ado, I picked up the first book in the Neapolitan novels, My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante, and yeah, I'm not even going to tell you what this is about because you, I'm sure, already know. But after Max and Marioness did a buddy read earlier this year, I was like, alright, you guys convinced me. I need to find out what this is about. I need to see if I have Ferrante fever. I'm probably going to like them. Like, you know, just based on what I've heard and who's read them, I'm probably going to like them. So I'm looking forward to it. This next one was sent to me by Harper Perennial, and it sounds like so much fun. It's called An Innocent Fashion by R.J. Hernandez, and it's about a young college student who graduates and enters the fashion world and, you know, what it's like for them. So that sounds right up my alley. I love fashion. This just sounds like really fun. It sounds like a little bit like Gossip Girl and a little bit like this book I read, The Knockoff, which was also set in like the fashion world, and it was this editor and she was kind of dealing with this millennial who was trying to steal her job. Anyway, this sounds like a lot of fun, and this is on my summer TBR. This is the last of the books that were sent to me by publishers recently, and it's called Beautiful Country by J.R. Thornton. And this is about a US tennis player who travels to Beijing as a young boy to join their junior tennis team. And it's about his experience growing up in this different culture, and it just sounded really interesting. I love this cover. This one sounds great, and I'm planning to pick this one up very soon. Okay, this last stack of books are all from the half-price new book section at the Strand, which is so dangerous. So dangerous. You just wander down, you're like, just see what's new, see what they have. And then of course you want all of the things. And in this particular case, I bought all of the things. So let me show them to you. So I picked up Ways to Disappear by Idra Novey, and this one is about a translator who gets the opportunity to work with this famous author. So I think they're working together, but then all of a sudden the author disappears, and the translator is like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? So she actually travels to Brazil to try and find the author. So I just thought the premise sounded really interesting. I love that this is exploring the life of a translator, which is something I know very little about, but I'm very curious about it. And I've heard great things about this one, so I think it's gonna be good. Next up is a book that sounded so twisted. I was like, alright, I gotta see what this is about. And I heard about it, I think first from Abby from Crime by the Book, and it just sounded really creepy in a good way. I don't know, I don't like scary films, but I like mystery thriller books, like creepy books. But maybe not too creepy, I don't know. I'm not sure what my like threshold is. Anyway, I'm talking about Perfect Days by Raphael Montes. And this is translated as well, so many translated books, but it's about a young man named Teo, and he meets a girl and he's really into her, so he decides, you know what would be an amazing idea? I'm just going to kidnap this girl and take her on a road trip and do whatever I want with her. I mean, how creepy does that sound? And I believe it's told from his perspective, so we're really like in his mind and his thoughts and how he thinks this is an okay thing to do to someone. So yeah, I've heard this one is really good, really like shocking and twisty and messed up, and I can't wait. Next up is a book that I picked up to read for Black History Month, but then I didn't get to it. But I'm still planning to read it. And it's called We Love You, Charlie Freeman by Kaitlyn Greenidge. And this is about a family who joins an experiment in which they are living with a chip. So already I'm like, that sounds interesting. I'm intrigued, okay. I think the author definitely discusses themes of race and possibly also class. So I'm really excited to pick this one up. I've heard really good things, and yeah, I'm excited to read more by Black authors. Next up I have Girl Through Glass by Sari Wilson, and this is one that's been on my TBR since before it was published. All I know basically is it's about a young girl who's doing ballet. I think it's a coming-of-age novel about a girl who's a ballerina, but I think it's more of the dark, twisted side of ballet. So I love ballet. I did it for 6 years when I was younger. Anything about ballet or ballet inspired is pretty much right up my alley. And this one I'm super duper excited about. As soon as I heard the premise, I was like, yes. Yes. And I'm talking about, in this case, Jane Steele by Lyndsay Faye. So I've heard amazing things about this, and the premise is that it's loosely based on Jane Eyre, but in this story, Jane Eyre is a serial killer who is basically righting wrongs and punishing people who deserve it. I just love the sound of that, so I'm really excited to read this one, and it's in my ginormous TBR pile now. Oh, I almost forgot one. So this is one that I received on Independent Bookstore Day, and I went to this Instagram brunch with book baristas at Strand Bookstore, and it was a lot of fun, and I vlogged that day, so I will link to that vlog down below. But we got a goodie bag full of books, and this was one of them. It's called A Game for All the Family by Sophie Hanna, and I might be making this up, but I think this is the same Sophie Hanna that wrote the new Agatha Christie novels. This is about a woman who moves to a different city to kind of get away from that life. I think there's stuff going on with her job, and I think also maybe something in her personal life that she wants to get away from. But anyway, she moves to a different city, and she has a young daughter, and her daughter starts to act out and be upset, and she says it's because her best friend George has been expelled from school. So she's like, I don't know why my daughter's so upset, like, let me see what I can do to fix the situation. She goes to the school to ask about George and why he's been expelled, and they tell her there is no George. George doesn't exist. So now she's really like, what's going on? And then she starts to receive like anonymous notes and letters and people alluding to her past. So I don't know, it sounds like something's happening. So yes, I'm excited. I have a lot of thrillers in this pile, but I feel like summer is a good time to read kind of faster paced thriller novels. And that is everything. I feel like I've been talking for ages, but I think I'm just so rusty from not filming in a while, so hopefully this comes out alright. If you have read any of the books I've talked about, please let me know. Let me know what you thought of them. If there are any you're really curious about and you want me to bump up the list, let me know that too. My TBR pile is huge because I've barely read for the past month and a half, but I'm going to work on it and try to get back on track with my Goodreads goal. Tell me about any books that you've recently acquired or you want to purchase soon. I would love to hear about it. If you want to talk to me elsewhere, I am on Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, Snapchat. I will leave all of my links down in the description box below. And as always, I will link up to all of the books that I talked about in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and for sticking around and still being here. And I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!